Hey everyone, welcome back to Infomesser. My name is Sharif. Today we're continuing our MySQL beginner series, and in this video today we're learning two super important clauses, group by and order by. Group by helps you summarize data by categories, and then order by helps you sort your results so that they make a lot more sense. And to make things more useful, I'll also sprinkle in distinct and limit in our queries so that you can start building real world habits. We're using the same table as last time, healthcare underscore data. Let's jump right in. We're gonna first start off with order by. And what order by does is that it sorts your results set. So there's two sorting directions. One of them is ascending, which means smallest to largest or A to Z. And then descending, which means largest to smallest or Z to A. And I'm going to give you a tip that also will save you time. If you do not specify ascending or descending, SQL automatically assumes ascending. And this goes for any database that you use. MySQL, SQLite, all of those. And the cool trick is you can also sort by multiple columns. So let's just get started with the first prompt here. This prompt says, find me the 100 most expensive billing amounts by hospital. So right away we know we're going to use billing amounts as one of the columns and then hospital as well. So let's get started with this. Let's do select start from. We'll get rid of that. And we know we need hospital and billing amount. Let's take that. And remember, because this has a space in the column, we're going to use backticks. I tell my viewers this all the time in my whole SQL series. I'll keep saying it because I want to remind you guys that if you ever come across a column with a space in it, just use backticks so that it can register as a column. So let's do that, paste that. And now we're going to use order by billing amount. Because we want to see the most expensive billing amounts, we're going to do descending. And that's exactly how it looks. And we also want to see 100 of the most. So we're going to use limit 100. Let's close this off and run it. And that's our result. So now we're seeing hospitals and they're all ordered by billing amount from most expensive to least expensive, and that answers our prompt number 1. So now moving on to prompt number 2, I want to show you an example using multiple columns with order by. So with this prompt over here, it's saying sort patients by hospital, then by billing amount within each hospital. So let me break it down for you. We're going to be using patients, hospital, and billing amount for this prompt. We know our 3 columns over here. So let's just take this and we're going to add name to it. Patients get stored with the name column. So now it's asking us also sort it by billing amount and by hospital. We're going to do order by hospital ascending. Oops. Order by. And the reason that I want to sort hospital by ascending is because I want to sort hospital alphabetically. And then inside each hospital, I'm not done yet, I'm going to do billing amount. Because I want to see inside each hospital, I want to see the billing amounts from highest to lowest. So descending, and then let's close that off. Run that, and there we go. Now we see each patient in each hospital from A to Z, and then the highest billing amount in each of these hospitals. Now moving on to prompt number 3. So in this prompt, it's asking us to give us a clean list of unique hospitals. And anytime you see unique, you know that you're going to be using distinct. So let's just add this back again into our prompt. And for this, we just need hospital. So now I'm going to add distinct in here. And we did not forget about order by, so we're going to use that. Order by hospital ascending, limit 50. And what this will do, by using ascending, you're sorting A to Z. And a cool way to remember that is ascending starts with A. So that's going to sort by A to Z. You can match that letter with it. And that's just how I remember it by. So let's just run this. And there we go. This is a clean list of unique hospitals sorted from A to Z. And distinct is always going to be perfect when you want to use a list of categories like hospitals, doctors, insurance providers, and so on and so on. But now you know how to use order by and what it's used for. Now let's talk about group by. And basically what group by does is that it takes rows that share the same value in a column and it groups them together so that you can summarize those groups. And think of it like this. Instead of looking at every single patient row, you can use group by to show me a summary per hospital or show me a summary per medical condition. Let me give you two key rules that you should remember. If you use group by, every column that you select must be one of these. Number one, a column that you're grouping by, or an aggregate like count, sum, average, min, and max. So aggregate functions are something I'm going to go over in another video, but let's just get started. So let's go over prompt number one. In this one, it's asking us which medical conditions show up the most often. And we know we're going to be using medical conditions column in this. So let's just take this over here. And I'm just going to run it so I can copy that medical conditions column. Copy this. Backtick medical condition. So we have that. And now I'm going to use count as well, because I want to see the medical conditions that show up most often. And that's what count is going to help us do. So count is an aggregate function, and like I said earlier, I'm going to be going through aggregates in depth in another video. But what count is that it's an aggregate function that returns the number of rows that match a specified criterion. So with this, it's going to show medical conditions and then count each of those medical conditions, how often they show up in our data set. So I'm going to do count all. And what this is asking is it's counting all medical conditions. And now I want to group by medical condition. So let's take this, group by, and let's run this. Limit 100. Just so it looks cleaner. And I'm going to pull this up. Well, actually, we didn't even need 100 because there's only 6 medical conditions and it's showing the count of each of these. So they're pretty close in number, but the one that shows up most often is arthritis. All right. Let's talk about prompt number 2. So for this one, it's asking us how many unique doctors are associated with each hospital. So we know we're going to use doctors as one of the columns and then hospital as another one. So let's start off with this. Select hospital, and for the doctor column we're going to use count actually, because it's asking us how many unique doctors are associated. So since it says unique, we're also going to add distinct in this, and distinct will go inside parentheses. Doctor from, let's take that, and we're going to group by hospital, and let's put a limit on this too. Let's do limit 50. It's going to show us 50 results. There we go. These are the counts of unique doctors per hospital, and there's no repeated occurrences. So this answers our prompt number 2. Let's go over the final prompt. So for this one, it's asking for each insurance provider, how many unique patients do we have? And again, we see some nice keywords here. Insurance provider, we're going to use that column. Unique, we're going to use a distinct in here, and then patients. And patient, again, is mapped out in the name column. So let's start off with taking this, and we're going to delete both of these. So let's do insurance provider, backtick. There we go, insurance provider, count, remember distinct, and then name. And now we're gonna do group by, because we want to do for each insurance provider. So group by insurance provider, and let's put a limit on that because we love using limits. Run that, and there we go. What you're now seeing is the number of unique patients in each insurance provider. And now you can kind of understand why using group by is so important when it comes to sorting and answering very specific questions. And knowing this will really come in handy when you're in a real healthcare environment or just any sort of industry. Just knowing group by and order by really helps. Alright, now I'm going to see if you've been paying attention or not. Here's your challenge query that combines everything that we've learned so far in this series, including filtering, grouping, distinct counting, sorting, all of it, limiting to. So for this prompt, it says show me the top 5 hospitals with the most unique patients, but for only emergency admissions and only for patients age 50 or older. So right away, reading that, you can already kind of mentally prepare what columns you're going to be using for this practice query. And of course, I'm going to be showing it to you, but just think about everything that we're going to be using. Pause this video and list out all the columns, all the clauses that you think we'll be using in this prompt. Okay, let's start tackling this prompt here. I hope you gave yourself a little bit of time to figure out exactly what you're going to be needing, but we're just going to break it down step by step. So even if you did not take that time, it's totally fine. I'm going to break it down. So we're going to first start off by using the table first. The simplest thing we can do is select star from our table, and now we can start working on this. So right away we know that we need hospitals in here, unique patients, but it's going to be only for emergency admissions. So let's use the where clause here, and we need admission type. So we're going to take this column, backtick it, and set it equal to emergency because we need emergency admissions. And I'm going to use an apostrophe because it's a text. And we also need age 50 or older. So we're going to use a greater than and equal to sign. So, and age greater than equal to 50. We don't need to use apostrophe for the 50 because it's a number, not a text. And let's put in our columns now. So we need hospital, that's for sure. And we also need name in here. But as you can see, it says unique patients. So we know we need distinct name, and we also want to see the number of those unique patients. So of course we need to use count as well. And let's do that. Count distinct name. And what I'm going to be doing here, I'm going to show you something new that I'll be going over in a future video, but I'm going to show you alias. So by typing as, I can do an alias for this name table or name column here. And what an alias does is that it's a temporary name assigned to a table, column, or an expression within a query. And the fun part about this, you can name your table anything that you want. So for this, I'm just going to name it unique or patient 50 plus, so we remember what it's being used for. And then I'm just going to group by, sort it by hospital. We're going to sort it by that. And let's just run this. Let's just see how it looks. So here we go. And as you can see, it gave it that name that we used as an alias right here. All right, so moving on, we also want to see this column right here. We're going to order by this and then descending. because we want to see the most unique patient on top. So we're also going to limit this because it says show me the top 5 hospitals. We know we need to use that. All right, there we go. This right here should answer the prompt. And now we have a nice short list of the 5 hospitals where we could see the number of unique patients above 50. And there we go, we did it. Now we used everything that we know so far and put it all into one query. If you've made it this far, I just want to say that I'm really proud of you for taking the time to learn SQL. I promise you it will pay off, and I want to make this learning process as easy as possible for you. And with what we've learned in this video, now you know how to group your data into summaries, and you can sort your output with order by so your data looks really clean. And in the next video, we're going to be leveling up with aggregations, and that's where we'll learn how to calculate average, sum, min, max, and more so that you can start doing deeper analysis. As always, I'll be dropping all of these queries in my GitHub page, which I'll link in the description below. Again, thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you found this content helpful, and check out my other videos in this SQL series. My name is Sharif. This is Infomesser. I'll see you in the next video.